During World War II, the Japanese Imperial Army created a system that it officially called comfort stations. On paper, these places were presented as regulated rest facilities meant to preserve discipline and reduce violence among soldiers. In reality, they were tightly controlled barracks surrounded by barbed wire, where women were forced to serve dozens of soldiers every night. Some women were expected to endure up to 20 or 30 men a day, with no ability to refuse, rest, or escape. Signs outside spoke of comfort and service, but inside there was coercion, fear, and constant surveillance. Women were brought from occupied territories, China, Korea, the Philippines, Indonesia, Burma, and other regions. Some were deceived with promises of factory work or nursing jobs. Others were taken by force, were sold by intermediaries. Once inside the system, their documents were confiscated, movement was restricted, and resistance was punished. Military authorities justified the system as a way to prevent soldiers from assaulting local civilians and to control the spread of disease. Officers reported improvements in morale and discipline, and medical inspections were conducted, not for the women's safety, but to keep soldiers combat ready. The suffering of the women was never recorded in official reports. Their pain was treated as irrelevant to the war effort. The first organized comfort station is often attributed to General Nakamura in 1932, following Japan's invasion of Manchuria. By the late 1930s and early 1940s, the system expanded rapidly. By some estimates, there were more than 700 comfort stations operating across Asia. For an army of roughly 700,000 soldiers, tens of thousands of women were held in these facilities. Historians estimate that as many as 400,000 women passed through the system, though exact numbers remain disputed due to destroyed records. Survival did not mean freedom. Many women died from disease, violence, suicide, or exhaustion. Those who lived were often left behind when troops retreated. Of the hundreds of thousands involved, only a fraction survived the war, and even fewer returned home. Many were unable to speak of what had happened, fearing shame, rejection, or disbelief. For decades after the war, Japan officially denied or minimized the existence of comfort stations. Survivors were ignored, their testimonies dismissed as exaggerations or lies. Only years later did some women begin to speak publicly, demanding acknowledgement rather than compensation. Today, they are collectively remembered as Ian Fu, comfort women, not because they provided comfort, but because history forced that name upon them. This story is not just about the past. It is about what happens when war reduces people to tools and silence becomes policy. Remembering these women is not about assigning guilt to future generations. It is about refusing to let suffering be erased.